I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a radio announcer. I'm a high school football coach. And since I was old enough to stand on the side of a stream next to my dad, I've been an angler. I've fished with bait, lures, and flies. I've fished with spinning gear, fly rods, jigging poles, and tip-ups. I've stood on ice, waded rapids, and been tossed about the deck of a boat. And I want you to love fishing, be it freshwater or salt, heavy flows, high seas, or cutting through a foot of ice, as much as I do, no matter what the quarry, no matter the tactics, no matter the chosen tackle. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman. Good afternoon, everybody. Let's get ready for Independence Day. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop on the HAN Network. It's Thursday, June 30th. We got a long weekend coming up. Get out fishing if you do, be safe, or get out on the water, or do both. I have to admit, I've been fascinated by kayak fishing, and it's something I have wanted to do a segment on for some time. Got that chance when Three Bells Outfitters had their first cast this weekend. Learned a lot. Let me share some of that with you. We're at Three Bells Outfitters with Teo Marieski. We're talking about kayak fishing, kind of a 101 today, just how do you get involved. Teo, the first thing we want to cover is safety. As with any activity on the water, there's the basics that everybody knows, the PFD, the radio. Go over some of those, please.
Yep, well obviously through June 1st, required to be worn on the kayak, PFD. After June 1st, what's required is that it be in the vessel. So we don't let anyone leave the shop without making sure that they have purchased and they possess a PFD. Other requirement that we like seeing out there is the whistle. Because in a kayak, you want to signal that you might be in distress, have someone coming in on you hot. You want to make sure you can signal your presence. I've been out there with my brother who tried signaling a submarine one time. Didn't work so well. Other stuff that we like seeing is the vehicle identification.
We see all the time where an empty kayak washes up that came untied from a dock or what have you.
Yeah, it's just basic common sense and courtesy before we launch these guys at the Coast Guard out in a full-fledged search for us. If you just put it in somewhere where it's visible, basic identification, contact information from someone that could say, hey, guess what, I actually know where he is, the kayak might have just washed away, in case you're not available. Saves thousands of dollars and for the Coast Guard, and saves a lot of heartache and worry. We see this 9 times out of 10 the person is found and was not with the vessel. So we give these out with every boat that leaves the shop as well. So these are what's physically legally required on a kayak. What we love to see as well is stuff like visibility flags. It's a must. Big boats, big speed, weekend warriors out there in our area on the coast of Connecticut. So flags, stuff like this, which mounts right to your kayak, the Mighty Mount and the gear track system. At night or fog rolls in, you got a light. It's not 100 lumens, but it's right when mounted properly, right at the eyesight of the boats coming in at you. Great safety product.
That is a great item. It's first I've seen that.
Yeah, it's probably our #1 seller. It's actually made in the States by Yak Attack. It's the Visi Carbon Pro. We absolutely love their stuff. They're at the forefront of developing stuff exclusively for kayak fishing.
That's crucial because obviously you have no power, so you've got no nav lights.
No nav lights. We do have people who put them on.
If you want to wire your kayak, I'm sure that's...
We have guys who, they will light their kayak up like the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. But one light we do like to see is this one right here.
It's not nature half the time.
Sharks,
it's
what are
people
sharks?
in boats that are the most dangerous part out there. And now the thing is yes, in theory, you have right of way. Don't depend on that against a 10,000-pound fishing boat.
And a guy with a beer.
A number of things can be going on.
Might as well give him the right of way.
Well, if it happened, for example, say for example, a commercial boat, and they'll plot a cord, they'll just plot it. And then he might go and be helping somebody with his rig. So he might not even be in the wheelhouse. So that's where you have to be the one to be like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna stay out of the way, you know? And then when you're out there more, you start realizing pathways for different boats. So like, this is a popular pathway. I'm gonna stay away from that today, you know? Or on a Sunday afternoon, maybe not the best in the mouth of the Connecticut River as everyone's coming back from Long Island after partying all weekend. So, you know, there's certain areas, like once you're out there enough, you realize, okay, this is kind of a protected bay, this is not a protected bay, you know, and then as you get into more fishing spots, you know, and you know, I try to get into bays that have less traffic, you know, all the time just because it's easier. So, you know, that's the first thing we want you to know about being out there is the safety of it all. You know, I always have a whistle and I have a compass on me because even if you have a GPS and your fish finder, that can either short out on you. You can lose battery life. So if you get in the fog, I like to have the compass on me. So if I'm on the Connecticut River, I'll know, okay, this is east, that's west, that's the shore, that's the shore. You know, or even out in the sound, you know, because you can get turned around really, really quickly in the fog. So, or I've had times for myself where I've sat in the parking lot, waited for the fog to roll out. I'm like, yes, going out. I get out there and all of a sudden, I was like, oh man. So it's always good to have that direction on you, like where you're going.
We were just at Montauk for a couple of days and they had some haze out there. And it rolled in, and
Yeah.
it rolled back out. And we were at the beach and one, you know, towards the end of the day, it rolled back in.
Yeah.
I said, man, you know.
And then there's that with a whistle, and of course the VHF radio is probably a pretty important part of everything too, because then you have the Coast Guard channel, but you can have everything from weather, and then when you're out with friends, and you'll see today we'll have you alter it into the same frequency, and then if there's any kind of separation, any problem, anyone has a leg cramp, anything, you know, then we can be in touch and make sure everybody's good.
Now, there's a huge selection. There are a ton of options with kayaks right now. You're a Hobie dealer, really the top of the line in terms of kayaks, most people would argue. What do you need if you want to start fishing from your kayak?
Yeah, so Hobie offers a wide line when it comes to, they make the Rev, which is a narrower boat, much faster boat. We love that boat. And the Coastal Currents, fast, can be possibly tipped over, but it's really hard. It's a sit-in product. But by far the flagship is the one that we have right here, the Pro Angler. It is built, it is a fishing machine. You cannot capsize this thing. Not only can you not capsize, you can stand up in it, you can walk around in it, you can fish off the bow of your kayak, you can bring your dog with you if you want company, because our guys are out there 6, 8, 10 hours at a clip. It's not unheard of. And it is built from the ground up to fish. It's really why we love Hobie. They are designed from the ground up with their engineers out of Oceanside, California. They're made to fish.
The wider the kayak, the more stable it'll be?
Yep, absolutely. More stable. You can stand up in the Pro Angler series. You can get up, you can stretch. We have a lot of guys who are fly fishing who absolutely love the product because, once again, you know, you're not in a sitting position. It's not natural to be casting out of a sitting position. And yeah, everything stops. There's no more problems in the Middle East. There's no more elections. It's all about you, yourself, getting on fish, hanging maybe with a buddy or two. We love it.
Now there's different lengths. Is there anything people should look for there, or is it just personal preference?
It really is a question of personal preference. I wouldn't recommend trying to get up in a narrower kayak. Like I wouldn't, you know, think that you're going to go fast in some of our bigger, wider boats. There's really a kayak for every fisherman's need. Yeah.
Obviously, covering yourself from the sun is an important part. Water, things like that to have on you. And that's another thing I like to plan for too. I mean, because if you do get sucked out into into water, or you get a leg cramp and the current takes you, you want to have things with you that you're good for that time. Like even if it's a heavier top, because at night it can get cold, and then or if you get wet. And then there's plenty of compartments in all these too, which you can keep stuff like that. So like this is and then we have these liners here, so you can actually stash stuff in there.
Waterproof, right?
Yeah, exactly, because it has this gasket here. So when this lip comes over, it'll keep the water out, and then the water that comes in here will just slide right down in here. Because that's the other thing, water getting in here isn't a big deal because there's scuppers, there's going to be water up to here anyways. So it's not like a sit-in kayak where you're worried about all that happening. It's almost like a wash deck for a fishing boat where the water's going to wash in, but then it'll also leave too. And there's different models have different ways of dealing with it. Like there's a drain plug on a Revolution under the seat. In the Outback and in these, there tends to be transducer holes and holes under the seat anyways, so the water will just pour right out of there. And then that's the other great thing about these is they're very equipped for fish finders and things like that, where you run your wiring in hull. You have these clams, which the wiring will go in and out of, and then you run your wires through the hull, and then your battery, which you usually keep by the sail mast, like on a bracket here. These are Lawrence ready with the plates underneath, so you can for your transducers.
So really it's finding an outfitter who can work with you to fit you with the boat that you need.
Yep. And that's what we do. I mean, you can go all day to Dick's and buy a kayak out of the parking lot at the big box store. The difference is that we actually will put you in the boat and you will go see what works for what you need to be doing. Anything from, once again, a small little sport all the way up to something like a Hobie Tandem 17 Pro Angler, which is a behemoth of a boat, 250 to 300 pounds sometimes when fully rigged.
Now let's say 20, 25 years ago, kayak is identified by the double-ended paddle.
Yeah.
Now we've got the Mirage Drive.
Yeah, we've got the Mirage Drive. It's Hobie's proprietary system, so your hands are free. What you have is the Mirage system. The latest version just came out last year. So you're using your feet to paddle slash pedal. And it propulses the boat forward. It can be flipped around. You can go backwards. You can stay in place with the current if you're just giving a little bit of a paddle. And it frees your hands, prep up bait to fish, take a break, read up, Kayak Angler magazine. We love the Mirage system. It's what differentiates Hobie from everyone else.
And that motion's similar to pedaling a bicycle, I take?
It's similar. It's not fully circular because you're not in a circular motion, but it's more like a sit-down Stairmaster.
Okay.
But it's more fun than a Stairmaster because you're out on the water. You're not looking at the front of someone else at the gym.
So the key really find an outfitter who can match you with the boat that you need.
Yeah, I don't care whom you go to. If the place has a location on the water and they can put you in the boat, go to that place. It's where you want to be.
Teo, you've got a tournament starting July 15th for your more experienced kayak anglers?
Yeah, so Three Bells Outfitters is putting on the 2016 TBO Trifecta Challenge, which the beauty of our tournament is that it runs from the 15th to the 24th, so you can fish anywhere in Connecticut coastal waters for the period of 10 days, and it's a combination of 3 fish. So you can go after striped bass, fluke, and or bluefish, but the total combined length of the fish is what's going to win a 2015 limited edition Hobie Outback kayak. That said, the combined length of all 3 fishes wins the grand prize, but there's something for everyone.
So it's photo with a ruler to...
Yep, catch and release when it comes to the striped bass. We do have a ruler that we're giving to everyone who registers, and it's a photo, and we'll provide some specific identification markers so no one can cheat.
There you go. And you can register...
online at threebellsoutfitters.com, or you can call the shop directly, 860-691-3001.
Teo, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Upcoming first casts, July 16th and August 13th. We'll be back with more Yankee Fisherman right after this. Warm weather, light breezes, boats are in the water. There's no better place to celebrate summer than the Dock Shop. Whether in Darien at 51 Tokenique Road or Westport at 609 Riverside Avenue, the Dock Shop is where you'll find everything you need to kick off summer. From the latest summer apparel to the newest fishing tackle, the Dock Shop will help you get the most out of your next beach day or harbor cruise. At the Dock Shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of items made in the USA and right here in New England, all with a distinct nautical flair. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the coastal lifestyle, this is a unique place to shop. DocShop.com.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Mosquitoes, ticks, gone. Guaranteed. That's what Mosquito Squad guarantees as America's most trusted mosquito and tick control company. Locally owned and operated, over 90,000 homes have been protected by Mosquito Squad using their dual protection method for season-long protection, which includes barrier spray service for eliminating mosquitoes and adult ticks, as well as supplemental programs to increase tick control. They use only USDA organic options, which are safe and non-toxic. Contact them today at www.squadctny.com or 203-893-4309. Mosquito Squad. No bugs, no bites, no kidding.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday, right here on the HAN Network.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 1 million people have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment programming since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. John Kovach with you on this Thursday, June 30th. Thanks again to Teo, Jesse, all the guys up at Three Bells Marina, Three Bells Outfitters. Again, if you saw anything that you're interested in, they're having similar first cast days on Saturdays, July 16th and August 13th. Slots are limited. Go to Three Bells Outfitters, that's Bells with an E, THREEBELLES, outfitters.com. For more information, we'll link to that on our website as well. So on Sunday, we went up to Newtown, met up with a group of people who were taking part in well, let's just say we were finding out what the stream is made of.
We want fish to naturally reproduce. We don't want to touch them. We want to leave them here, leave them alone, and let them do what they need to do. So that's what we're doing today. My name's Cole Baldino. I'm working with the Pootuck Watershed Association and partners with Candlewood Valley Trout Unlimited. And we're here on Deep Brook in the Pootuck River today to bring together a community to do some volunteer reach assessment, which we are assessing the river for habitat for wild brown and brook trout. We're working on a grant to make this river better suited to harbor wild trout. Next, you're going to be looking for confinement. All that is an estimate of how wide the river is compared to how wide the channel around it is. So here, I'd say it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So you would just check 2-to-1. And at any time you see some type of, it's called a grade control, it's any break in the continuous channel, just like that. So that's a ledge. So right here at 1.6, you would then circle ledge. You would take total height with the rods, the measuring rods that I gave out. You would take total height from the bottom of the water to the top of the ledge, and then from the top of the water to the top of the ledge. That's a simple measurement. Anytime you see something like this as a ledge, a waterfall, you're not going to see a lot of culverts or dams. You won't see any dams, and you might see some culverts.
Just a quick question. Do you measure from the upstream side or the downstream side?
Downstream. Yep. Because we're looking at this as if a fish can get past it to move upstream. So. And this is a good example. Fish probably aren't going to get past it. This is something we'd look at. We'd clear this section out so fish can get up through this rip. Water will be pushed here. That's clearly someone put that like that, and that's not good for fish. So we'll end up taking that out at a later date. couple volunteers. Anyone? You got one? Two? And Bob, I'll take you and you another person. So if I can steal someone's measuring tape, you got it. Cool. You can hold on to that. You're gonna be using that with me. We're gonna move right just to these flags here.
You can get your feet wet now.
What I was explaining to the folks, the riparian buffer along this stream, we've got the southern and western sun coming in. Back in about 2006, Newtown Tree Project, Trout Unlimited, a number of town volunteers planted quite a few trees. I think there were over 400 trees that were actually planted and brushes to try and increase the riparian buffer. And what that does is to prevent runoff from coming into the stream. It shades the stream, keeps it cool. We've also done a number of bank improvement projects here along the stream. They're a little difficult to see because they're subtle. They're worked into the landscape. But we've, if you take a look at the bank over here that has a lot of erosion on it, we've actually, several places on the stream, received grants or had opportunities to help control that bank erosion.
Or it's just, again, as you walk. Is there any springs or seeps coming in? So a small little tributary coming in the side, that would be one, but it's not now. That's not, it's a perennial stream. It only flows when there's high water. There's going to be a couple of them. You're going to see some on the Pootutuck. When you see it, just note it down. Give it a tally, give it a check mark. And again, this is all in the back in the direction sheet.
Pulls the feet off. Yeah.
It'll turn into a fly, and it'll come to the surface of the water and turn into a fly. This is all the trout eat. They love these things. So if you're a fly fisherman too, dry flies, nymphs, that's what they are.
Telling some of the folks here about the macroinvertebrate samples that we do in the fall, which are a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's all you look for. It's awesome.
Yep.
Turning over rocks.
And as you walk, you can turn over rocks. There's a ton of crayfish. There's a ton of different flies. I should be able to know most of the flies too. We're going to be using the information we get today, which is a lot of channel widths and observations of the river itself, to put in place restoration projects for places that need restoration, and in turn, in 5 to 10 years, hopefully make this a premier fishery for wild brown and brook trout.
Fascinating day out on the river. Got to see a lot of life like we're seeing right here. Got to see really what makes a stream. We'll be back with more Yankee Fisherman presented by the Dock Shop. Warm weather, light breezes, boats are in the water. There's no better place to celebrate summer than the Dock Shop. Whether in Darien at 51 Tokenique Road or Westport at 609 Riverside Avenue, the Dock Shop is where you'll find everything you need to kick off summer. From the latest summer apparel to the newest fishing tackle, the Dock Shop will help you get the most out of your next beach day or harbor cruise. At the Dock Shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of items made in the USA and right here in New England, all with a distinct nautical flair. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the coastal lifestyle, this is a unique place to shop. DockShop.com.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. My property taxes on my single-family home were close to $20,000 a year. Now that I've downsized and I'm in a townhome, and because of the condo tax laws, my fees have gone from $20,000 down to about $5,300 with the star exemption. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
Keep your future star active and happy this summer at Future Stars Sports Academy camps and clinics. The Academy is offering sessions throughout Fairfield County. Sign up for a week of basketball, cheerleading, football, or a multi-sports camp. At Future Stars Academy, children learn the fundamentals while under the supervision of qualified coaches. And what sets the Academy apart is its special Lessons of Life sessions, teaching values and focusing on building self-esteem, friendships, and honesty. Located at Sports Center, Connecticut in Shelton and in Sports in Trumbull. Register online at FutureStarsSportsAcademy.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. John Kovach with you. Thursday, June 30th. We're about ready to wrap things up for the holiday weekend. Going to be a long holiday weekend. Be safe if you're out on the Sound. There's going to be a ton of boats out there, a ton of stuff going on. So if you are out there, be careful. Last weekend on the Sound, Saturday specifically, Halloween Yacht Club had Hooks for Heroes. We had those guys on a few weeks ago. They had more than 200 fishermen. They had 28 wounded and disabled veterans. And they raised more than $10,000 for wounded veterans who are at Walter Reed Military Hospital down in the Washington, D.C. area. They've raised $40,000 since 2012 through Hooks for Heroes. That goes to Operation Gift Cards. The biggest bass weighed in at 25.5 pounds, not a bad size. The blues were not biting. The largest one came in at 5 pounds. A little early for those, but 5 pounds I'll take. Whatever you can get. The important thing is they raised $10,000 for wounded and disabled veterans. Great job, guys. The band Gunsmoke performed. They had a military biplane flyover, a water cannon salute by the Stamford Fire Department. Just a great day out there. Hooksforheroes.us, you can find out more about that, and you can still donate. While we're talking about websites, the American Museum of Fly Fishing, just earlier today, I saw, rolled out their new website. They really did a nice job with it. Very arresting, big images, some new things going on there. We'll be in touch with them soon to see what's going on. They do have an event this weekend, and that is a plein air painting thing with artist George Van Hook. He's going to teach aspiring artists how to paint a classic fly fishing scene, the bat and kill. You can see it in a post on their Facebook page. The river runs right through there. They're right by Orvis in Manchester. They've been great to us in the past. We'll have them on again real soon. That's going to do it for Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. Enjoy the July 4th weekend. Enjoy the fireworks. Be safe out there. Get fishing. Tight lines.